What's up, guys? So, how do I want to start this off? I don't know. I mean, I'm getting better at editing, but I'm not real good at cutting this out and adding this in. I just take out chunks of shit. So, like, if I gotta edit a bunch of stuff, it doesn't look right. I don't know. Anyway. So, we live in America, right? The land of opportunity. If you're an inventor, you're told to find a need and fill it, okay? So if you find a need and you invent something that fills that need, you can be rich. So people were looking for a way to quit smoking. And somebody invented the electronic cigarette. Right? When it first started off, it kind of looked like a cigarette, you know, like the end would light up when you hit it. The juice inside that had the nicotine in it was nasty, right? You're talking, this is almost 15 years ago. Well, throughout the years, innovation took hold, right? The people that were buying these products that wanted to quit smoking, that realized there's something here, right? Started making different, like mixing different things into the juice or the liquid, whatever you want to call it, to make it taste better, more palatable, right? So you could say, oh, that's good. Oh yeah, I could smoke this instead of a cigarette. And then they're like, oh, I feel better that I'm not smoking those cigarettes and I'm smoking this, right? Then through the years, people started like, oh, let me put this together. Maybe I can make a tank and we can hold more juice in this little tiny thing that you got to screw on the top of it. A little, cartridge, and they started making like the ego pens and the tanks on it. Then they started making drippers and like, oh, we can use this wire, wrap it around this mesh. Oh, that was like the first RTAs, right? Like the Genesis style shit. Then they're like, oh, well, we can put cotton inside of it because they were using silica wicks, which is kind of gross. They start putting cotton inside of it, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and made by the consumer. It took one guy, I'm going to get this wrong, I think he's from Japan or China, right? One guy started this, figured it out, like how to, get the nicotine in the juice through the electronic cigarette. And from there, the consumers did it. And I mean, it's gone from them little tiny, like, ego-style pens to drippers and RTAs, and now pod systems are the thing, and sub-ohm tanks. You got big things like this, all the way to, like, well, this is pretty big, too. But I don't have I have some pod systems, but I don't have them. And then people are adding different flavors to it, right? And all of a sudden, you've got something. But then some rich guy and a couple uppity tight politicians decide this is no good, right? Some rich guy, Michael fucking Bloomberg, starts throwing money at agencies like Tobacco Free Kids, and then all of a sudden another thing pops up, right? PAVE, Parents Against Vaping e-cigs, right? They just come out of nowhere, and all these other anti-tobacco groups, ants groups, whatever you want to call them, right? This is about harm reduction. I don't care how you look at it. Vaping is safer than smoking, even if it was. Okay, so say something's bad for you, right? Like fast food. Okay, fast food's bad for you. You know that it raises your cholesterol, raises your blood sugar. I mean, it just is not good for you. You shouldn't eat it all the time. Overly processed foods, right? But if they came out with something else that was like kind of in the middle of healthy food and fast food, that was cheap like fast food and cheap like over-processed food, and they said, look, if you eat this and it's good, you can add 2 to 3 years to your life. Not a bunch, but a couple years. It's somewhere in the middle. You do it if it appealed to you. So there's studies that say vaping is 95% less harmful than smoking. I don't want to say safer because vaping's not safe. The only thing that's 100% safe is not smoking anything at all. That's the only thing, right? But if you've been smoking for 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, some people, right? And you can start smoking or vaping, right? Some lemon meringue pie or some, strawberry lemonade e-liquid or, some anything. I mean, think of the flavors out there right now are ridiculous. Almost anything you can think of, there's flavors for because consumers asked for it, right? Some strawberry shortcake, you got it. There's bakery, dessert stuff, there's different cookies, there's different bubble gums, there's soda pops, almost anything you can think of. I mean, they don't have chicken dinners, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Almost any flavor you can think of is probably out there somewhere. Maybe even fucking chicken dinner. Maybe even pepperoni pizza. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Even if it was 50% safer than smoking, why wouldn't you do it? To quit smoking. And the big thing that people don't seem to get, the people that I see on Twitter, this goes out to the FDA, everybody, they're like, Big Tobacco, oh, we got a big win over Big Tobacco. Fuck Big Tobacco. Vaping is taking money from Big Tobacco. Big Tobacco has never been a part of vaping until Ultra, who I believe is Philip Morris, basically, right? Bought Juul. And then there was the Mark 10s and shit like that were made by, I believe, the same people that make Camel or something. I don't know, but I know they're not making open pod system or open systems, right? Open tank systems. They're not making that shit. Big Tobacco has never been into that. Big Tobacco is not making e-juice. They're making pre-filled pods, which are now illegal, right? So you have to be able to put the juice, or as long as there's no flavors in them, you can have just tobacco or menthol, right? That's it. For the pre-filled pods, that's it. That's all you can have, right? And they use the kids, oh, it's all about the kids. The kids are getting hooked to tobacco. It's not fucking tobacco. There's no tobacco in it. All those chemicals that are in cigarettes aren't in it. I don't know how these fucking Congress people and all these other groups don't understand, right? And not only that, what other thing has been invented for you to quit using that thing, right? Fast food is addicting. Sugar is addicting. They don't come out with pop oh, hey, look, you start with this pop with 50 milligrams of sugar in it, and slowly you'll go down to 40, and then 30, and then 20, and before you know it, you'll be drinking nothing but water, and you'll be super healthy. They don't make shit like that. Vaping is made that way. That's why there's all different levels of nicotine in the juice. You can go from 50 to 1 to nothing. And eventually quit vaping. And you can step down at your own pace. I got friends and I got family that have stepped down and quit within 2 years. They went from smoking a pack or two of cigarettes a day, they started vaping, then they quit, right? Like me, I've been vaping for a long time, and it's more because I could probably quit, but I like it. So why can't I do it? I'm almost 40 years old. I'm an American adult. I work hard for my money. I pay my taxes. I'm a law-abiding citizen. But these people are telling me that I can't do something because somebody didn't fill out some paper for some tobacco bullshit. I'm on my way right now to my favorite local vape shop, one I've been going to for years. Because I see it on Facebook today that they're closing their doors because of these PMTAs. And this is happening all over the country. In the land of opportunity, where if you see a need and you can fill that need, you can make a lot of money. People are going out of business because that need was met. and rich people and stupid politicians that have no idea what they're talking about, and these other groups that are getting funded by these rich people like fucking Bloomberg, who are being funded by the pharmaceutical companies who make, fucking I'm so irritated right now. They make the pill that people would take to quit smoking. I don't even know. I'm drawing a blank. But they take that shit, right? And then they're killing themselves or killing the people. I was taking this pill to quit smoking. It made me go fucking crazy, right? That's okay. You can take that because Big Pharma and the FDA say so, right? And then they got these nicotine gums, and then they got nicotine toothpicks, and then they got nicotine lozenges, and all different kinds of fucking flavors and colors and whatever you want. But you can't vape. You have to be 21 or older in this country to buy tobacco products, which this shouldn't even be a tobacco product. It should just be a nicotine product, right? Because there's no tobacco in it, just nicotine. They tax the fuck out of it, right? Like, and then now, not only are you going to lose the sales tax from this shit, I mean, today's the 3rd. In 6 days, the PMTA deadline. And they're making it so hard. The FDA said, oh, we're going to have a streamlined process. There's no streamlined fucking process. There's not. Like, this is the modern day witch hunt. This is a modern day reefer madness. Making fake propaganda, coming out with fake studies, talking like these studies by Stanton Glantz that have been retracted, like every study. And they'll take these retracted studies and still use them in arguments for Congress and shit. The FDA is... oh my God. Like, they're going to kill vaping. They're going to kill thousands of jobs. Oh, man. I'm going to my favorite local vape shop. Like I said, I'm going here. I'm going to spend some money. Right? Because they're going to need it. I mean, I do this a lot. Like, I do buy a lot of stuff online because it's cheaper. I'm not a rich person. But when I have extra money, I come here and spend it here. Because you got to support your local vape shops. And, yeah, this sucks, man. I'm really sad. I'm really sad about this whole thing. I'm sad for people who won't in the future be able to quit smoking with this. I'm sad for that. Like, I'm sad for a lot of things. Now I'm going to go in here. I'll be right back. Yeah, well, that sucked. I mean, they're having a big sale right now, trying to get rid of everything. So, I spent... you need to spend $100. I got a bag full of shit. Look at this bag. Like, you know how much money this would normally be? Probably close to $200 worth of shit. I mean, I'm talking juice. And with the tax on juice now, that's why I started getting juice online. It's because I could buy a 100 ml bottle of juice here, and it would cost me like $30-something, and I can get the same bottle of juice online for $15. But still, I'd come here and still buy some juice. And I'd still buy some, coils for something, or, a little pod system, maybe an RTA, like, just trying to just keep money into these businesses, especially the ones that I like. But here's my thing, right? Like, this whole roundabout thing that I talked about for the last, 15 minutes or so. What does the FDA, Congressman Raja, however the fuck you say that prick's name, like, what do these people think is gonna happen? Let me tell you what's really gonna happen, because I don't know what you think is gonna happen. Like, on the 9th, and the PMTA goes through, and they're like, all right, all this stuff on the market, made in labs, made at manufacturer places where they have standards, right? All that stuff is off the market now. You can't sell it. There's only a few people that actually got a PMTA, and those are like the real big companies. Like, I heard Avil Vapor got one. They're big chain, right? Kalamazoo might get one. I don't know, but they're out of Michigan, so they had to deal with a bunch of bullshit because Michigan was one of the first states to run a ban because of Gretchen fucking Wilson, whatever the fuck her name is. Gretchen. That's a good name for that bitch. Sounds like an old witch. Her parents named her right. Anyway, if your name's Gretchen, I'm sorry. Unless you're her. Anyway, I know I get rambling, and you guys are like, get to the fucking point, Rob. Get to your fucking point. Here's my point, right? They think all this shit's just gonna disappear, right? And these, millions of vapors are gonna be like, oh man, and I'm talking just in America. It's close to 13, 14 million vapors, maybe even more, Like, and I've converted several people myself from smoking to vaping and helped them out and gave them shit. What do they think is going to happen, right? Do they think all these people are just going to be like, oh, I can't buy it no more. So then when their juice runs out, they're going to be like, yes, I got to go smoke cigarettes now, right? Yes. Sadly, that's going to happen. Some people are going to do that, especially people that just started. Maybe some people will actually quit. Like, okay, well, I can't vape. I'm not going back to smoking. I guess I'll quit. But the majority, I'm telling you, 80, 90%, the majority are going to find a way to get what they want because that's what we do, right? You outlaw drugs. What did? They found a way to get it, right? Through illegal means, okay? Prohibition, alcohol. This is what's going to happen, right? They found a way to get it. They had places like the speakeasies where you could get in and get it. They were making the alcohol in bathtubs and toilets and shit, and it was gut rot, right? You drink it, drive you crazy. Like, that's why they started making mixed drinks, because the alcohol that people were making when they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and they were just making it to make money, the whiskeys, right? You had to mix it with something to at least make it palatable. You couldn't even drink the shit. It was so nasty, right? And people are getting sick and dying from that. That's what's going to happen here, because prohibition doesn't fucking work. Regulation works, and coming to a common ground works, right? Like, so people who don't know what the fuck they're doing are going to start making juices. You think shit got bad when some vitamin E acetate got mixed with some THC carts? Because that's where all this shit started, right? You think some people got sick then? And let me tell you something. There's enough people out there that DIY that are waiting for this day because they're going to start making money. Maybe they can just quit their jobs. And all they have to do is sell to their friends and family and people that they know, right? Because vapors, we all know vapors. If you're in a community, if you live in a neighborhood, you know the people that vape in your community. You know the people that vape in your neighborhood. You know the people that DIY. You know the people that know how to make mods, right? There's enough Facebook groups, fucking people on Twitter. Like, there's ways to figure shit out. If you think we're just gonna quit and that's gonna be the end of it, you're sadly fucking mistaken. I'm telling you right now. There's people that, like myself, who's been buying shit up as much as possible with every extra dollar they got, right? I got a stockpile of juice. I'm good for a while. But it's not going to last me forever. I got a shitload of cotton. I got enough mods and RTAs and shit to get where I got to get. It's not going to last forever, but it'll last me long enough. And you know what'll happen when it runs out? I know people that make juice. I bought some mech mods. You know why? Because they don't take circuit boards like this one does, right? It doesn't need a computer chip thing in there, okay? It's just a battery. That's what I'm saying. There's enough people out there that know how to make mods. There's even people out there that know how to fix them. You find those people, you get your mods fixed, right? You know, this is the thing. Like, when this first started coming out, there were those little plastic things. Since then, and the innovation that vapors had and wanted to make things different, we make them out of aluminum, copper, zinc alloy, plastic, 3D printed, wood, resin. You can make them out of 100 different fucking things. All you need is a battery and a case, a 510 connection, and you don't even really need that. You can go to Home Depot and buy a length of copper pipe that'll fit an 18650 battery. and make a couple of caps, and you can make yourself a mech mod. The problem is people that don't know what the fuck they're doing are gonna do shit like that. Somebody's gonna buy that tube mod, stick a fucked up battery in it, and blow themselves up. You know whose fault that's gonna be? That's gonna be your fucking fault. Because you pushed this to happen, right? Prohibition doesn't work. Mark my words, people are gonna start getting sick, and people are gonna start getting hurt. And you say you do this for public health? If you were doing this for public health, you would be embracing this, right? A long time ago, I can't remember who the fuck said it. Some congressman or FDA guy said, like, if there was a smoking cessation that came out that would help people quit smoking and was safer than smoking, it should be embraced. That same guy is trying to stop vaping. I wish I could remember his fucking name. I wish I could remember the name of these drugs. It's just I'm fucking irritated right now. And my mind's running so fast. That's why I keep rambling too. Like, my mind's just going and going and going and going. And I'm getting frustrated. And it's not like I'm frustrated for me, because I know I'll be fine. Like, I know I have enough juice. It's everybody else. It's like, it's my fellow vapors. It's people that haven't found vaping yet. It's the shop owners. It's the manufacturers. It's the people that work in the shops. The people that work in the factories, right? The post office needs money, right? When you order shit online, who delivers it to you? The post office. So the post office makes money off this. Everybody makes money. The state makes money. The federal government makes money. People who are making the shit makes money. The minute you cannot manufacture it and sell it is the minute that the country loses money. The minute that the states lose money. You know who's gonna? The modders that can make their own shit and manufacture it at home and make shit handmade, that can sell stuff that nobody else has. The DIY guys that know how to make their own juice and have a shit ton of concentrate sitting at home, they're the ones that are going to be making money, and it's all going to be tax-free. I don't know whether to thank you or punch you, because you're fucking it up for people. You really are. My kids are going to have me a lot longer than they would have because of vaping. I guarantee you. Because I feel better. I felt better the first 2 months of vaping than I had for a long fucking time. You put all these fake stories out there. You put all these fake studies out there. And you get the mass public to believe your bullshit. To where when they look at people vaping, they're like, I heard that's worse than cigarettes. Right? And you know what I do when people say that? I say, hold on, let me show you some shit. And I pull up studies on my phone. And I pull up videos on my phone. Oh, let me show you some other shit. You really believe the FDA? You really believe the CDC? You really believe the WHO? That's why when this pandemic hit, a lot of people that seen this shit happen was like, I don't fucking know, man. These guys lie. There could be some other angle. You watch. A lot of fucked up shit's about to happen. Really is. I'm just telling you. Like, they need to do something. 6 days from now is the deadline, and they need to do something. They need to streamline that shit, get fucking rid of it. They need to work with these companies. They need to work with these manufacturers. They need to work with us vapors, because there's a whole fucking lot of us. And all you people that are opposing it, and all you governors and shit that are outlawing it in your states, I hope you don't get reelected. Because all these other people are losing their jobs. You should lose your fucking job too. I'm out. Good night.